sad. We take a deep breath, don't cry, be strong. Yes, because it's just sad. It's very sad what now we see. It's not humanity. Where is the humanity right? Where's the animal right? Where is the environment right? What's now happening in Rojava? We cannot stop. We cannot see what's going on. People from Rojava, they're killing ISIS, guys. And Erdogan killing the Kurdish people. I don't understand. I cannot understand. Who's ISIS? Who made ISIS? Why are you fighting Kurd? Just go fight ISIS. Who made ISIS? We live in our land. We don't fight anybody. We want peace for everybody. We love all humanity. Doesn't matter religion, doesn't matter language. We're human. We should speak for each other. Doesn't matter where is our friend. Please help Kurdish people, because if we don't speak for them, they're gonna kill them. They will go and they're planning to disappear Kurdish people. They're the most people, honestly, in the world. They're fighting for all of us. Doesn't matter religion. Doesn't matter your nationality, your skin. You're human. You're good. We love you. This is how God wants us. Okay? Where is the community we want? Where's our friend? Where's Kurdish friend? When they first fight ISIS, everybody, they clap for them. And now nobody say anything. What's happening? Nobody say anything. This is not true? Yes. So, yes, please just speak up for humanity. We don't want anything from you. We want only your humanity. Speak up for the humanity. Kurdistan. We want to be free like all of you guys. You have everybody have their country. Why not Kurd? Why they come and they take it from our country? We want freedom one time. We have our land. It's our right to speak up for ourselves. We want to be freedom like you. We are human like you. What's the difference between us and you? Peace Kurdistan, peace Canada, peace humanity.
Thank you. We have women like this in Rojava, and that's why they can defeat us in Rojava. So folks, a couple of things to focus on. Please try to contact your members of parliament to pressure the Canadian government to exercise their influence in the region to stop these atrocities. We have a letter that's circulating that is addressed to the members of parliament. You could just sign it and send it, and it is free of charge. You don't have to put a stamp on it. Or you could just hand it back to the organizers, and we will make sure we will address it to the members of parliament. Second is, please pressure news organizations and media like CBC to give us our fair share of coverage, to be honest newsbreakers. Support us, support Afrin, support humanity. And now I have Brother Rizgar Hamad Rashid with another address to the people.
Thank you all for coming out into such a rainy day. I am going to read this petition, which is written by academics and international human rights activists, calling all powers to act against Turkish aggression against Afrin. We, the undersigned academics and human rights activists, insist that the leaders of Russia, Iran, and the United States ensure that the sovereignty of Syrian borders is not breached by Turkey, and that the people of Afrin in Syria be allowed to live in peace. Afrin is one of the most stable and secure regimes in Syria, with very little international aid. Afrin has taken so many Syrian refugees in the last 5 years that its population has doubled to 400. Afrin has taken in so many Syrian refugees in the last 5 years. Hello. Okay. Afrin. Sorry.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. Sorry folks, just bear with us.
Sorry for the technical problems. We, the undersigned academics and human rights activists, insist that the leaders of Russia, Iran, and the United States ensure that the sovereignty of Syrian borders is not breached by Turkey, and that the people of Afrin in Syria be allowed to live in peace. Afrin is one of the most stable and secure regions in Syria, with very little international aid. Afrin has taken in so many Syrian refugees in the last 5 years that its population has doubled to 400,000. Afrin is now surrounded by enemies: Turkish-supported jihadi groups, Al-Qaeda, and Turkey itself. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has threatened to attack the Kurdish YPG, or People's Protection Units, with which the United States has been allied against ISIS. Turkey accuses that YPG of being terrorists, despite the YPG's long track record of setting up local democratic government councils in each of the towns it has liberated from ISIS, and its repeated statements that it has no interest in Turkey and wishes to function only as defense force for Syrian Kurds and other ethnics living in the Democratic Federation of Northern Syria, also known as Rojava, which includes Afrin. Turkey has massed an enormous military force on the Afrin border, and President Erdogan has promised to attack the Kurdish-controlled canton with full force. Annihilation, a peaceful enclave, and putting thousands of civilians and refugees at risk, all in pursuit of its vendetta against the Kurds. An attack of this kind against the peaceful citizens of Afrin is but an act of aggression against a peaceful and democratically governed region and population. Turkey cannot carry out such an attack without the approval of Russia, Iran, and Syria, and inaction by the United States to stop it. The Kurdish people have endured the loss of thousands of young men and women who joined the YPG and YPG, women's force, to rid the world of ISIS. The United States and the international community have a moral obligation to stand behind the Kurdish people now. We call on the United States officials and the international community to guarantee Afrin's stability and security and prevent further Turkish aggression from within Syria and across the Syrian border. Thank you.
Thank you, Kakrazgar. There are lots of brothers and sisters here that are wondering where is CBC. So we want to do a couple of chants for CBC. So we will say, CBC, defending humanity is defending Afrin. CBC, defending humanity is defending Afrin. CBC, defending humanity is defending Afrin. CBC, defending humanity is defending Afrin.
No silence.
CBC, no silence. CBC, no silence. CBC, no silence. CBC, no silence. CBC, no silence. CBC, break the silence. CBC, break the silence. CBC, break the silence. We all recognize that CBC, when there is any terrorist attacks or non-terrorist attacks in Europe or in Canada, they will be doing 24 hours, 24/7 to talk about those attacks. Where is your coverage, CBC, when Kurds are under attack by the aggressive and genocidal governments of Syria, Iran, Iraq, and Turkey? Now I have been asked to read a statement from the Rojava community in Vancouver. Condemns the Turkish aggressions on Afrin. Turkish state targeted Afrin, which has received hundreds of thousands of displaced Syrians. And we call on the international community and the Canadian government to shoulder its responsibility toward the Turkish aggression on Rojava and the Syrian north. Turkish state's attack against Afrin is an act of animosity against the Kurdish people and the Kurdish movement in all Greater Kurdistan. Launched the global campaign Save Afrin to raise awareness about the impact of Turkey's invasion of Afrin on civilians and to call the international community to intervene. Turkey's decision to invade Afrin adds another layer of complicity into the multidimensional armed conflict in Syria. It threatens any possible path to peace and may turn into another humanitarian disaster in the Middle East. In a worst-case scenario, it may put the Kurds, Christians, Yazidis, and other minorities at risk of new systemic persecution or acts of ethnic and religious cleansing. Turkey has been threatening and preparing for the invasion of Afrin in Rojava for several months. The Turkish forces have intensified its attacks on Kurdish villages in Afrin region, saying that the shelling is a de facto start of a planned invasion of Afrin. Human rights defenders have informed us that since early morning of Saturday, Turkey and its jihadist allies have been shelling Malakiya, Villa de Kadi from Azaz and Baloni, which is a historical site for a church that was built in the 3rd century. As the invention of Afrin looms, we ask, why is the world silent? Why are you silent, CBC? Turkey is about to launch a full-scale genocide against the Kurds, Christians, and other residents of Rojava. The world must stop Turkey's new aggression. We are calling on the international public human rights organization and all who want freedom throughout the world stand against the Turkish state's fascistic practices. Turkish provocations since civilians have been attacked. We know that without the permission of global forces, and mainly Russia, the United States, whose troops located in Afrin, Turkey cannot attack civilians using Afrin airspace. Therefore, we hold Russia as responsible as Turkey and stress that Russia is committing crimes by partnering with Turkey in massacring civilians in the region. Afrin is not alone. The people of Kurdistan and those who want freedom around the world will give support against the attempted invasion. Victory for Afrin and Rojava, Kurdistan. Not to the Turkish invasion in Rojava, Afrin's pride. No war, yes to peace. No war, yes to peace. No war, yes to peace. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. We have now Sadat, who wants to say a few words.
Hi everyone, thank you for all your support. I want to say a few words, especially to CBC, who has been silent about whatever is happening in Rojava. We know Turkish government is genociding. Turkish government is killing kids, killing children, killing people, civilian people, and none of those media covering this aggression of Turkey. I have been holding this slogan since I'm here. It says, Afrin and the Kurds stood up to the ISIS. Time to stand up for Afrin and the Kurds. Stop Turkish state's war on the Kurds. Break the silence. We are here to tell you, break the silence. You have to cover what's going on in the Rojava. There is people who are fighting for their land. Turkish government wanted to occupy Kurdistan in Syria, and the people are resistant. We have to support the resistance of YPG and YPG in the Rojava. If you cover all the media, and even the government of Canada has to condemn this aggression of the Turkish government. At the end, I'm going to say, Biji Rojava, Biji Afrin, Biji Barkhodan Afrin.
Biji Afrin, Biji Afrin, Biji Afrin, Biji Afrin. Erdogan terörist! Erdogan terörist! Erdogan terörist! Erdogan terörist! Erdogan terörist!
Erdogan terrorist!
Erdogan terörist!
Erdogan! Erdogan terrorist!
Erdogan terörist!
Brothers and sisters, thank you so much for coming out. Just a couple of things. We have the letters that are been drafted for the members of parliament. They are set right here in the corner. Please come and grab one, sign it, and we could send it, or you could send it yourself. Please see Talat Hanım. Thank you so much for showing up. I know it's cold. I know you're taking out of this time out of your schedule and your busy Saturdays. Here is the brother from Rojava who wants to say a couple of words to complete our event.
السباسية وتبا دكن هاتناوا خيراتن جبوا عفرين رنجين عفرين دوكا رجافاي ساعتا وكشا خواش امقلكي وسباس دكن راستيجي وبرنجكي حضاري وبرنجكي مدني ودنجي فاقيان جيهاني إيرا رجا جيهاني جبوا عفريني وقت براي دلال قد جبوا برلمان امزيق وحركة سكاري امزيق الفيدا سرطان وحركة سر مالا خواه ساعتا وكشا خواش زور سباس لنابێ کۆمیدا ڕۆژاوا ئەم سپاسیا وەکیشاتکن زۆر سپاس منیت خۆش.
نیش بە ناوی ماڵی کوردەوە زۆر سپاسان دەکەم. دەزانم وەختێکی زۆرتان سەرف کرد بە میوکەندا بەو سارد و سەرمایە. ئەلبەتە ئەوە سیلیسیمی هیچ جوابێکیانەدانە، هیچ ڕێز و احترامێکیان بۆ خەڵکە نەگێت، نەهاتنە خوارەوە کەسێک مقابلەیە شتێک. بەهەرحاڵ لێرە بەدواوە هەر کەسێک دەیەوێت ئەو پتیشنەی ئیمزا بکە، ئەوە لە لای تەڵاخان ئیمزا و ئەدرەس و ناوشتی خۆی بنووسێ. لێرەدا کۆتایی بە بەرنامەکەمان دێنین. زۆر سپاسی هاتنتان دەکەین هەردوو.